What are the pros and cons of online teachers? What do you think? Please, before watching the video, think about it and just write a comment and let me know what you think, what has been your experience. I think there are pros and there are cons, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Thanks a lot to my Patreons for always supporting me. If you want to support me and you want to try out Lingora, you can use the link down below. You will get a discount and you will be helping me. So it's a win-win, isn't it? Well, then you can check it out. Okay, so let's get started. As you know, because I've talked about it in this channel, I've been using both italki and Lingoda. Those are the only platforms I've tried for online teachers. I was also a teacher for some years at italki, so I kind of know the pros and the cons of the whole thing. I've also attended normal, let's say, real life courses, like just recently for Schweizerdeutsch. So I know the pros and cons of both options. If I had to choose 5 pros, I would say, okay, the biggest pro is that you don't have to leave your house. This is super convenient if you maybe got an injury or you're living somewhere far away from the city center, or maybe the language you're learning is not being offered where you live. So without leaving your home, you have access to a teacher. And this also means that you can also access a teacher in non-standard times. Of course, it will depend on the specific language and so on, but you're very, very flexible and you don't have to leave your home. So this is very, very convenient. The second one, I guess it has to do with it too. Like you don't lose any extra time with commuting or anything like that. So you really, if you're spending 1 hour at class, it's 1 hour. And it's not like driving there for 30 minutes and driving back for again 30 minutes. So you're very effective, let's say. The third one I would say is that it's more personalized. So basically, let's say I want to focus on speaking, then we focus on speaking, because especially if we're doing 101, it's about me, right? Or if I want to maybe learn Japanese, but I personally decide that I don't want to learn to read it, even if it's a bad idea, but it's like me who is kind of directing what's going on at class. And I mean, for some people, this might even be a disadvantage because they don't know what's best for them. And I'm not saying I do, but for instance, I know that when I'm learning, I don't know, Russian or French, I know what I want to focus on because, for instance, French, I need it for my job. So maybe I want to learn some new expressions that are a little bit more formal. And Russian, maybe I want to, I don't know, be able to express myself in a better way when speaking in informal situations. So it's like different type of context, and like I can adapt the class to what I need. And normally if you go to a normal class, well, there are more people there, and yeah, you have to adapt to the class or to the teacher. The number 4, I would say, I mean, maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but sometimes we have a teacher we maybe don't like or we don't get along with, or simply, I don't know, somehow we don't connect. And I think it's fair enough. It can happen, And if you're using a platform, an online platform, it's easier to change. I mean, it's not only because it's online and I don't know, like it's not weird, but if you're, let's say you're taking a course somewhere, like I was recently, I was lucky that I liked my teacher and she was doing a great job, but it could have also been that I don't like her or him, or that it's not aligning with what I need. And it's not like I can say, hey, please give me my money back because I don't like the teacher. Like, that's not how it works. So kind of when you enroll a course somewhere, you kind of have to trust that the teacher will be good. And online, if you notice, well, for whatever reason, I'm not feeling it with this teacher, well, you can just simply change. So it's like, it's a lot easier. It's not something I've talked about much, but really, to be honest, if you're taking courses online, normally it's cheaper. It's cheaper. Well, it just depends on where you live, especially what language you're learning. But in general, I feel like especially for instance for me, I'm living in Switzerland, so here everything's more expensive, and then if I take an online course, then it's probably gonna be cheaper if it's not from someone who lives in Switzerland, right? So this can also be an argument for online courses, online classes. What do you think? Did you think about those pros, and what are your thoughts on that? I mean, we could continue with the list, I guess, but I feel like those 5 are the most important ones. So it gives you flexibility. You don't lose any extra time. You can really be leading your learning. So you're the one who decides what you're doing, what you're focusing on. You can choose and change your teacher easily, and it's cheaper. So those are for me like the 5 main reasons, or like I didn't prepare this. I just was brainstorming with you together. So what do you think? Are there any disadvantages of online courses? Well, I do think there are. I think that when you go to a like physical school, the connection, if everything aligns, you like the teacher, the content is interesting, and it's like your level and everything. If everything aligns, the connection you can form with other students and the teacher, I think, is a lot stronger. So yeah, I feel like it's stronger, and also it's a little bit more of a commitment, I feel. Like for instance, online courses, well, most weeks I will take like an italki lesson in Russian, but I'm not 100% consistent. Whereas if I enrolled a course, then you have to already pay everything in advance, then you mostly are going to attend the classes. And normally maybe it's also longer, so like it's not half an hour, it's not 1 hour, it's 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, so you're consistently taking longer sessions, which also might be an advantage. And so, but what I feel that can be a little bit missing, even if you also form a bond with your teacher normally, if it's been your teacher for a while, you can also form a bond, and it's nice. But I feel like the physical presence does bring an extra level to it. So yeah, online courses amazing, but human connection is in another level if you're physically there. That's like my opinion and my experience. And now that I think about it, I think that's all. I don't see any other thing that I wouldn't like about online lessons. I mean, of course, for instance, you don't have the blackboard, but I mean, nowadays you have lots of tools, so I wouldn't think that the tools are an issue, to be honest. I mean, maybe like physically doing something with the group, right? You say, okay, after class, we all go and order something at a cafe, and this is, more dynamic. It's real life experience. But apart from that, I wouldn't see, like, apart from the like human connection, which is more genuine when you're physically there, I wouldn't think there's anything you're missing when you're taking online lessons. But I am, I've been taking online lessons for years. I find it super convenient, so that's why I'm doing it. But yeah, I acknowledge the fact that, yeah, maybe the human connection is better when you're like physically there. If it's like a positive vibe, which is not always the case, to be honest. But yeah. So like I said, maybe if you have never tried online courses before, you might want to give it a try. And I have a link down below for Lingoda. I also always have one for italki. You get like a $10 discount, and for Lingoda you get also a discount. So, and you help me and my channel, so it's pretty cool. It's a win-win. And yeah, if you ever wanted to try it out, why not now? You maybe have time if you're on holidays or whatever. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to your comments. I hope you're doing well, and I hope to see you very soon. Thanks again to my Patreons, and yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.